The country is counting down to the start of the G20 Leaders Summit, which will happen over 2 days this coming weekend on Saturday and Sunday, the SABC being the host broadcaster. Now, there are also side events that are happening to coincide with the leaders' meeting, and we're joined this evening by award-winning poet, producer, performer and delegate at the We 99 People Summit for Global Economic Justice, Lebo Mashile, to talk about their gathering, which is also, as I was saying, put in place to basically coincide with the G20 gatherings at an official level. Lebo, good to have you on the SABC. So let's talk about your program then, because what you're looking at is basically issues around economic redress or redress. You want an economy, right, an economic model that is redone to be rooted in equality, dignity, justice and sustainability for all and the planet. What does that mean in real terms?
It means we're living in a time of multiple intersecting crises. We see this prevalent in South Africa with our crime, corruption, GBV, violence, inequality, but we also see similar issues mirrored around the world. The political climate in the world is intense and chaotic and changing all the time. People who are grappling with issues in South Africa are mirrored by people who are also dealing with the same issues and working collectively to combat these issues around the world. So this gathering that's taking place from Friday, the Thursday, Friday, and culminating in a concert on Saturday is bringing together activists, workers, community members, people who care about everything from service delivery to climate change to economic redress, addressing global inequality. I mean, South African inequality is abhorrent. It's abhorrent that 30 years into our democracy, we still are the standard bearer globally for inequality. There are enough resources in the world and in this country for everybody to benefit from them. There are enough resources for people to live with dignity. And people have been engaging with these issues, not just billionaires, not just politicians, not just our government leaders, but many people, ordinary people, artists, activists, everybody who wakes up in South Africa worried whether the lights are going to go on or whether the water is going to come out of the tap. Artists who have been writing and creating and speaking about these issues. I'm lucky because I get to be involved in a concert on Saturday that is open to the public, where we want people to come. We want young people to come. If you are curious about these issues, if you care about culture, please join us on Saturday at Constitution Hill. We've got an incredible lineup of artists who are similarly minded and who have been at the critical edge of using their creativity to stand up for social justice, amongst other issues.
And do you think that specifically the involvement of artists in conversations around equality, dignity, education, redesigning the global economic model, etc., do you think that makes the conversations more accessible? Because one of the recurring complaints I've heard in the build-up to the summit is that some of the conversations are pitched so high that most people feel at a grassroots level that they simply are unable to participate.
Well, I mean, we don't speak politicalese, you know, we're not conversant in the language of policy and finance, but we are conversant in the language of our bills going up. We're conversant in the language of it's rained and trees have fallen and they haven't been removed from the streets. We're conversant in the language of our young people and people across generations in South Africa don't have jobs and don't have access to the materials that they deserve, the resources that they deserve. So there's the high level policy, but there's also the ways in which we engage in policy at a granular daily level. All of us are impacted by it. So if you're curious about this, if you care about these issues, if you want to learn more about these issues in a fun way, in an interactive way, in a way that allows you to use your creativity and be inspired by people who can pull you into these issues using art and using methods that are interesting and engaging. I think a lot of the time as well, when people think about conscious art or artists who are critical, artists who are politicized. They think that this stuff is so heavy. It doesn't have to be heavy. It's not heavy to be well informed. In fact, being more knowledgeable, being better informed about what's happening in your environment, in the political sphere, in the economic sphere, it allows you to be able to make better choices.
Right.
You are more empowered the more informed you are. So that's what we're also encouraging people to do.
On the timing then, as I was saying right at the beginning of our conversation, you've put together this program to happen at the same time as the G20 leaders are meeting. Do you think that the message that you intend to spread will ultimately resonate and lead to meaningful change at that level?
Sure. I think so. I hope so. I want to believe in the fact that, especially in a country like South Africa, where we understand that our democracy was shaped by ordinary people who stood up against injustice consistently over many, many generations. The voices of ordinary people are at the foundation of our Bill of Rights, at the foundation of our Constitution, at the foundation of how we have tried to do institutional and political transformation over the last 30 years. So I hope that at the core of our leaders is at very least the desire to hear and to open their minds in this moment of chaos and cataclysm and global upheaval. No, I mean, none of us, we wake up in the morning and we switch on our social media and we're bombarded by messages of that make us terrified of what is happening in the world on a daily basis. I think it's time for us to listen to more than just politicians, and maybe for politicians to open their ears as well, to listen to the people, to listen to creatives, to listen. The world is screaming.
Lebo, always such a pleasure to talk to you. All the best for the coming days. Thank you so much for speaking to us on the SABC. Award-winning poet, writer, producer, performer, and now delegate to the 99 People Summit that's going to happen in Johannesburg towards the end of this week to coincide with the G20 leaders meeting.